أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تأكلوا أموالكم بينكم بالباطل إلا أن تكون تجارة عن تراض منكم. With regards to the Sharia screening, as mentioned, the first criteria is which is known as the business criteria. So the business criteria, it says that the core business of the company should be Sharia compliant and should be halal. Now, what is the definition of the core business? The core business, also known as the primary business, the IOFI, the standards, it says and it defines it as such businesses that is mentioned in the incorporation of the company, the document which has been incorporated, wherein the company incorporated the objectives of the company, the activities that a company declares in front of the regulatory authorities, wherein if there are some unethical or non-halal activities, the haram activities there, then that company will not be eligible. So the core criteria, core business criteria, not 1% also will that be regarded as something which is relaxable or tolerable. Besides that, there is another aspect of a non-core business or a business which is a secondary business, basically wherein this is not the objective and the purpose of the company, and the company is not actively marketing that product as well. Okay. So there is, this is of two types as well. This could be operating as well as non-operating. So non-operating is, it is not actively utilizing its resources in this activity. No activity is being done to generate this haram income. However, just because the deposits are being, say for example, being parked in the bank, an interest-bearing account, and the amount, the interest is being accumulated. On the other hand, operating is that there is a certain amount of activity that is being done, and that amount of activity is non-Sharia compliant or halal, or not halal. Now, in this regard, the criteria that is mentioned is with regards to the business income, business revenue compared to the entire revenue, it should be less than 5%. And this is the IOFI criteria. Mind you, this includes operating as well as non-operating. Now, in the Indian context, we have a great scholar, one of my teachers, my Ustad Maulana Khalid Saifullah Rahmani Sahib. He is one of the pioneers in the Islamic finance movement, and he has, mashallah, great research in this. So Maulana Khalid Saifullah Rahmani, with regards to the Indian context, and he is the Sharia advisor at Tasis. Tasis is a certifying body. What his opinion is in this regard, that this ratio that has been stipulated by the IOFI with regards to the tolerance of non-permissible income is a relaxation ratio. It is something that is based on darura or necessity. And this is a maximum in the Sharia, that ad-daruratu tutaqaddaru biqadriha. The necessity will basically make something permissible according to where the necessity is and exists. If the necessity ends, then the permissibility will also end. Okay. Now, in the Indian context, we find that around approximately from 6,000 listed companies in the Indian Stock Exchange, by applying this criteria, which is 3% criteria with regards to tolerance for non-permissible income, there are an array of approximately 1,600 companies that we have. So from the 6,000 companies, there are 1,600 companies that are eligible for investment in this regard. And if there is the scenario, then the need does not basically remain. And if the need does not remain, the permissibility will once again return to prohibition. This is basically based on the usul and the Sharia maxim of the Sharia office from based on the Quran and Sunnah. In the same way, with the criteria with regards to the debt, interest-bearing debts, that is the Sharia, the criteria of the AAOIFI, 33%. Here, according to Tasis and according to Maulana Khalid Saifullah Sahab, it has been brought down to 25%. And as I mentioned, that this 25% also gives us around 1,600 companies which are available for investment for the Muslim Ummah. So this automatically this eliminates the need after that, and so the 25% would be the cutoff, basically the ratio here in India. Criteria. So, for example, we have the AAOIFI criteria. Obviously, for a person in India, if he would like to follow the AAOIFI criteria, so we wouldn't say that it is not permissible, because for one of the reasons is that the AAOIFI or the Tasis criteria is not really available, and for a person who might not AAOIFI criteria, there is a great number of ulama ikram who have got together and they have reached a consensus on this. So obviously, I would say the ideal for an Indian is, if he is dealing in the Indian stock market, this would be the criteria for him to follow. But even if he does follow the AAOIFI criteria, we would not term it as impermissible.